So the first one we're going to start off is one I think that's well overdue. Sacramento moved on from GM Monte McNair. And also another thing, tidbit, the assistant GM, Wes, I think his name is Wes Brown. I'm going to find it. But the assistant GM also moved away. He moved to the Utah men's basketball team to be their GM. So they literally have no GMs right now in their front office at all. Both of them left. Monte McNair was a mutual agreement. So they both agreed. And now they're going to look for both of those guys, presumably.
Yeah, deserved. My God, he's ass. Like, I mean, the meme of like it says "fucking stupid," but it's like the Kings logo in the middle of it. Like they have been the biggest clown show of a front office, as far as I can remember, over at least like the better part of the last decade. And they just like, how do you make these trades? Like, how do you trade De'Aaron Fox and you don't net a single first round pick?
Yeah,
It just doesn't make any sense to me. And the Kings do Kings things. They just don't make the right choice, and the front office never is ambitious about truly winning.
Yeah.
Which is why, you draft a really good prospect in Tyrese Halliburton, you trade him for Domantas Sabonis, literally.
Well, one could say that that's not a bad trade.
It was a bad trade because Sabonis was a no-show in the playoffs last year, and he was a no-show in the play-in this year. So at the end of the day, if you're going to get 1-3 seed and lose in the first round, and that's all you do, then that obviously is another
the
thing.
fit with Halliburton and Fox would have been better than Fox and Sabonis.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because usually it's a big and a guard, right? Usually that's like the combo.
Yeah.
You never really think of a guard and a guard fitting together. Like, when's the last time that worked?
We're seeing it right now with
Cavs.
Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, but they have a full-on team.
well, also if,
Right.
if you're if
J-Dub and Shea.
But they also got Chet and
true.
Hartenstein.
also
right,
if,
they have a full
Yeah.
team. You know what I
if
mean?
you're Monte McNair, you don't double up on point guards and you draft actually someone that fits your team instead of Hallie in that draft.
But the thing
class.
is, Hallie fell. You had to take him.
well, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
I understand that, but it's you don't need to. They couldn't have moved out of that spot, got more draft capital. If they didn't want him, they could have done that.
Right.
I think
but
they just
look,
traded him too
you know.
early. Like he wasn't at his peak when they traded him.
Well, yeah,
so they got
that's
less
it.
value
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
They would
Exactly.
have traded him now.
Yeah,
So that's what you're saying?
Right.
You're saying they could have got more for Halliburton? Is that what you're
If they
saying?
just
No, I
waited
don't
on
think they should have traded for Sabonis.
Okay.
yeah, I don't think that was needed.
I don't think it was
But
necessary.
the timing of the trade was fine. It's just they got
for them, it was fine because they didn't want to trade Fox.
right.
So Halliburton was the collateral in that trade.
Now, who's the better player, Fox or Halliburton?
I mean, it really is just up for whatever, because you're
Yeah.
talking about the Sacramento Kings. They're
Right.
really, like, they haven't been ambitious about winning. So, if Halliburton stayed in Sacramento, I don't know if he would have played as good as he is now with Indiana. Like, his role would be totally different because in Indiana, he gets to just purely facilitate and set up guys in the right spot. Where in Sacramento, you have Fox there. Fox doesn't play off ball too much, but Halliburton needs the ball in his hands to set up Fox, to
effective.
set up Keegan Murray or
I
anyone
think they rushed
of that.
the process a little bit.
Oh, absolutely,
Because
yeah.
like you could have waited on like the rebuild process with Halliburton, but they traded him for a win now player because they wanted to make him the playoffs right
Yeah.
away instead of being patient. Like
Right.
look what the OKC did; they missed the playoffs so many years with Shea, like being a great player, and they set him out. They didn't rush the process, kept
Right.
adding more draft, and like slowly rebuilt. That's what
Right,
you
they
need
were
to do with
patient.
a smaller market team.
Makes sense. It's a good
Yeah.
point.
yeah,
And that's been the recipe. And we'll actually put a tweet on the screen right now from Shams Charania, because it actually got announced the other day, and I just noticed this now, that the Sacramento Kings are finalizing a deal to hire longtime NBA exec Scott Perry as their new general manager.
yeah. Scott Perry is replacing.
So
yes, I did see that.
I know he had some time with the Knicks, if I'm not
they
mistaken.
fired his ass.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that, let's be honest, the Knicks front office is not much better.
Yeah.
But I know he spent time there. He spent some time in Detroit. Kind of weird how they're both playing each other right now in the playoffs. But I think it's definitely a big step up from Monte McNair.
Yeah, Perry has notable experience. I guess that was the guy from the beginning. They just want to get someone that's veteran experienced and probably to, just figure out what's going on with this team.
Yeah.
And then the coach as well. We don't know if Doug Christie will be back. Presumably not. And, it'll be a
Mike
new
Brown,
look
right?
Kings next year. So,
They had Mike Brown, right?
Yeah,
yeah, he's gone.
They
Yeah.
should've not
He's
fired
the
him.
guy. Ooh.
Yeah.
Nah, I thought
Uh,
he should have.
I think he's a good
But that was
coach.
at that time. You think he's a good coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike was
Tyler agrees with
He's a
that.
fantastic coach.
I
Yeah,
think a lot of people would
Mike
agree
was a
with that.
scapegoat.
without a doubt.
And
Yeah.
I don't like the Zach LaVine fit with DeRozan.
Yeah, that was the
Nobody likes
that was the no-brainer.
Well, what are they going to do now? Trade for Vucevic?
If it didn't work in Chicago, it's not going to work in Sacramento.
Exactly, because
That's literally
I think
the
you could
basis
trade
of it.
DeRozan though.
You
He's
could.
tradable.
Exactly.
You think
You
so?
could.
I think so because his contract is not as much as
Okay.
Zach.
He's got 2 years, like 39 left.
What,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
could you get for DeRozan?
Yes,
Young talent.
Yeah,
Not much.
Not, like,
pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
yeah, man.
So,
Can you
but
get picks?
you can get maybe.
Second?
Look, it's the market's tough right now because Luka Doncic just went for 1 first-round pick.
Exactly.
So it resets in the summer. We'll
That was
see.
ridiculous.
We'll see who the first domino is to fall,
Yeah.
and then we'll kind of go from there. But
Oof.
yeah,
It's gonna
look,
be a crazy
Who's
summer.
the other guy that got fired?
We're gonna move on.
About
I'm
to
gonna
get
get it
into
right
it
now.
right
Let's do that, bro.
Yeah,
This one hits hard.
Yeah, Landry Fields.
Because God, I wish when he sent it in chat, I had no idea it even happened. So yeah, just today, Landry Fields was relieved of his duties as the Atlanta Hawks GM after having number 1 overall pick this previous past year and building somewhat of a formidable team that made it to the play-in and got knocked out of the play-in. So they're going to start. Oh wait, they didn't actually. Ansi Sala is now the GM of the Hawks. He's been promoted.
yep.
Was he the assistant GM before? I think
He got promoted, but I do think he's promoted to the GM. But they're going to look for
They're
a
looking
president
for
of basketball
president of
operations.
basketball ops, yes,
they're
I
going to work
just saw
together on it.
Yeah. So I don't know much about Ansi Sala.
I mean, there's not much really to it. We don't really need to take a deep dive
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah.
He was
But-
there for 3 seasons. Landry, that was really it, and he built somewhat of a, I guess, decent team.
No, it's no.
No,
It's-
look.
Somewhat.
Let's be real, bro.
his
Don't
ti-
give him credit just because he's a former
But he
Knick.
got
I
some
have
picks,
to.
though.
I
Like
have
the
to.
Jalen Johnson pick, he got him like 20th.
Right,
Yeah,
but
Johnson was ahead.
But
He was.
at the end of the day, though, it's like you went through 4 head coaches,
Right.
and throughout your entire time in Atlanta, you went 201 and 199. Literally the epitome of mid.
Yeah.
This
You don't think
team.
Trey Young's the problem?
No, I think
Ooh.
Trey Young has had to carry dead weight on his
Yeah, that's
back for
facts.
years.
But he's just a player that demands the ball in his hand a lot. He's kind of like a Luka Doncic type player without being as good as Luka Doncic.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you can't win with Trey Young, is that what you're
I
trying
think
to
he's
say?
not a winning player, you know? He's like a James Harden type.
I don't know if you could say that because in the
It's
playoffs.
so tough because, like, look, when you think of like the best players in the league,
he's-
right? You think of a guy like SGA, you
Yeah.
think of a guy like Joel Embiid, you think of a guy like Donovan Mitchell. Trey Young's made it farther than all 3 of them in the playoffs.
That was a one-season fluke.
I agree with that.
And he's
We
a
always bring up
liability
that
on
one
defense
season.
too. Like
But-
unless I like the
Major.
Dyson Daniels fit as well because like he can help defensively.
Oh, yeah.
It's just-
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I don't know.
But no, yeah.
It's tough. I mean, you can make the argument that that one season was a fluke, but Trey Young did rise to the occasion. He never has stinkers that much in the playoffs. It's not like he's solely reliant on the free throw line
Yeah, but
like some of these other guys.
but the
I think
team
he's fit
never.
with Wemby.
Yeah.
That ship sailed when
He's
they
like
traded
a-
for Fox.
Huh?
That ship sailed when they
yeah.
traded for Fox. So now you're looking at a situation where, what do you do? Does this new president of basketball ops trade Trey Young? Do you build around Trey Young? You just gutted the franchise about a month ago. So what do you do from here, Gio?
And look, I would ask, what does Trey want to do? Does he want to stay here in Atlanta, or does he want to, or is he thinking about leaving?
I think he wants to stay.
He wants to stay.
Yeah. I think he does.
What do you think about the fans in Atlanta?
I think they want him to
They're
stay.
loyal to
yeah,
Trey.
that's like a Luka thing. He's not gonna want to leave.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, Trey's
100%.
that.
What about a
100%.
Trey and a Giannis combo?
I mean,
But there's
What if
danger.
Giannis goes to Atlanta? Is that possible?
I mean, I'm sure there's a way for that to happen, but why would Giannis want to go to Atlanta?
That's a good question.
Because
He
like,
plays in Milwaukee though.
yeah, because like, but no, the thing is like, it's not really so much of the market. Like, if you trade Giannis to Atlanta, you're getting rid of Jalen Johnson, you're getting rid of Dyson Daniels, you're getting rid of not DeAndre Hunter, you're getting rid of Levert or Niang. Like the whole franchise is going to get gutted, along with all the first round picks you have left.
Exactly.
And they already don't have their first this year, so it's not like they could really tank. The Spurs have their pick unprotected,
Do they still have their picks from the DeJounte Murray trade?
I think, but I'm not. I think it's a
Oh,
swap
yeah.
Traded
next
like
year.
Yeah.
6 first-round picks for DeJounte Murray or something like that.
It was three and it was three in a swap.
Terrible.
It was-
So
yeah, it was too much.
crazy
Yeah.
crazy that Mikal Bridges went for double that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Playing good right now though, so
yeah. But look, that just says a lot about the Pistons, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, with Atlanta, I'm not really surprised by this, considering
I think they'll be better next year.
I was
Yeah.
a little bit,
They have
it's because you're a Knicks fan.
but
and you
I
like
thought Landry.
Fields.
I mean, the Hunter trade was obviously questionable because Hunter was a 6-man of the year conversation guy, and you get Terrence Mann, who's kind of a knockoff from LA Clippers.
Trash.
You fill him in with Levert. Levert's great. Niang is great as well. But the bench after those 3 guys was thin.
I don't
And you have no
know.
Jalen
I
Johnson
think
as well.
the team was just lackluster.
It was lackluster. Yeah, exactly. The
Like
bench
the
was
bigs
lackluster.
were not good.
And that's
Yeah,
that's all on Landry Fields for not being ambitious. Like you
Jalen-
can't sit passive.
Yeah, you know Jalen Johnson's an injury problem the past 2 years. You back up him with Onyeka Okongwu, who was backburner to Clint Capella for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Capella's not even playing anymore. You know,
They just had a lot of injuries.
Big
Yeah,
man
true.
I think they
problem.
would have been better if Jalen Johnson stayed healthy because he
Well,
was,
of course.
he was
Yeah.
the most improved.
Yeah,
Probably.
Until he got
that's
hurt.
true.
And because of that, they had to trade DeAndre Hunter because you had to sell high. There was no way in hell he was going to play this good ever again.
Exactly.
So it left you in a tricky spot.